Hey, everybody, welcome to Slow Smoke Business. Today we have Richard Rosser, a master storyteller, an author. He's worked on a lot of television shows, and we're going to talk about storytelling and specifically what artificial intelligence is doing to change that industry and all the other industries that it's touching. Let's get 5 quick minutes with Richard Rosser.
I've been telling stories professionally for 30 some odd years, right? In TV and film and commercials with short stories. And I've realized that, of course, storytelling on a professional standpoint is incredibly powerful, but really storytelling in everyday life is really powerful as well. And so ultimately, we can tell stories to entertain, educate, persuade, convince, and really sort of reflect. And a good marketer, a good business person is using story for all of the above. And it's important to remember when you're telling a story that the story has to have a point. If it doesn't have a point, if it doesn't have a call to action, if you're telling the story in a business sense, if you're pitching a client and you tell a story, you want that story to have a call to action to it. And so we can use stories in all sorts of presentations. We can use stories for asking for funding, pitching a project, working with a team, managing a team of folks, or if you're doing a presentation to 200 or 300 employees about the company, a story is a great way for them to understand what's important about the business for the business owner or the high level management.
ChatGPT, overlaying that with storytelling, how does that change the way that stories are created now that you have tools like that? And are there ethical boundaries in the usage of that? Does it change whether you should be able to copyright something, be proud of something? How does that change the way that stories are created?
Wow, Jarrod, that is a jam-packed question. Let me unpack that.
You could break it down a little bit. Sorry.
I am a storyteller at heart. And so I wrote this book, ChatGPT Simplified, really through the lens of a storyteller. And my approach to using ChatGPT is as a creator. And as a creator, this technology has amazing, amazing brainstorming possibilities because the engine that runs ChatGPT has been trained on billions and billions of pages and PDFs and master's theses and doctoral dissertations. So the knowledge that it has within its lexicon or its library of knowledge is truly incredible. So when I jump on ChatGPT and I'm starting to brainstorm for a workshop or a seminar or a project, I really have a philosopher and a scientist and a composer and a geographer, and I have all these people really right there in my creation room, my little room, when I'm working on something, and that helps me think outside the box. And so this technology is well. Let me back up a sec. A lot of folks think that this technology is just going to reduce us all to robots because we'd use the same prompt or question, and all the responses are going to come out the same. And yes, I mean just like you got McDonald's and Burger King, and people go and they have a burger and they know what it's going to taste like. Well, it's not necessarily better than the mom and pop burger stands that dotted the U.S. back in the 50s, 60s, 70s that got shoved to the wayside. But there are folks that still make an amazing burger that is different from McDonald's, or amazing barbecue in this case, right? And so
Right.
the idea is that this is a technology tool, just like a calculator is a tool for a mathematician or an engineer. ChatGPT, or AI in general, is a tool that we can use to help amplify our creativity.
That technology is moving so quickly right now that there is no amount of complaining about it is going to change anything. The best way, and sort of the winner's attitude, is to accept that change is here and figure out, how do I get on the right side of this? How do I use these new tools to do better things, or to make things faster, smarter, or better for whoever the end user is?
At a certain point, when we've taken storytelling and we've taken AI and we've merged the two together, I then stop and I say, okay, now let's take AI out of the mix. And let's think about story and storytelling and the narrative structure and all the techniques that we've been working on. And let's forget about the technology and let's look at what the story is and how we can make the story more compelling, even without the technology. Because ultimately, that's what it comes down to, is our ability to communicate with folks.
Guys, if you enjoyed this 5 minutes with Richard, join us for the entire show. It's right where you found this one. We're going to be cooking 2 different types of wings and doing deep dives on artificial intelligence and storytelling and why those things are important to anything that you're doing in life. We'll see you next time on the Slow Smoke Business Show.